Hello and welcome. I'm Nadia from Chill Technology, and tonight we're going to speak with Maydad. Usually he does all of the introductions, but it's all about Maydad and the retreat tonight. Maydad, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you here, Nadia.
It's always nice to speak to you, Maydad. So I'm really excited. This is my opportunity to interview you again. And we've known each other for quite some time now. I love your passion that you've got with these retreats that are happening and they're coming up. The next one's the 18th, 19th, and 20th of July. So only a few weeks away. But I just wanted to have a quick um, an information slide just about you. Um, so who is Maydad? So Maydad yourself is a former Reebok men's aerobics champion, and you completed some of the best athletics and around the world.
Yeah.
Um, so three gold medals, three two silver or three,
Three silver.
three silvers and one bronze in world class competitions. That's
That's
pretty
correct. Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
So you're a former men's state novice ABA bantamweight boxing champion. That's a mouthful. So what does that stand for? The ABA bantamweight boxing
Amateur Boxing Association. Bantamweight is the weight division, and that was under 54 kilos.
under 54 kilos, and that would have been a hard trot as well because staying that physique and having the strength and the technique. So winning those championships must have been really a proud moment for you.
It was. It was. I just got out of school pretty much. I was 19, 20, and um, to answer your question as far as making the weight, I don't think that was really hard because that's my natural competition weight. I mean, but as I got older, when I got into my 30s and that, it was hard to make that weight. Uh, but yeah, no, I like a challenge, and I come from a sporting family. My dad represented Israel in the Rome Olympics, and my brother Avi was a really good soccer player, represented Australia at the Maccabee Games. And yeah, so sport's always been in the family, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You have to enjoy it. If you don't like what you're doing, then there's no point in doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so so not only did you have the state novice, but you went pro as well in the super
Yeah.
bantamweight.
Yeah, I went pro at later in life. I stopped boxing for about 21 years. I was just working that because of my autoimmune disease. Um, and as a result, it was said to me that I should try sports where I did not have to cut weight and stuff like that. And perhaps that would really helped me with my fibromyalgia and my chronic fatigue and that. But unfortunately, it wasn't so much just the weight; it was more the intensity. When I got into competitive aerobics, I failed to even participate and try to qualify for the World Aerobic Championships in Las Vegas, even though I was second to the guy who was third in the world, Anton Scott. I beat Todd Butland, who won the World Aerobic Championships eventually, but I never got a chance to even try to qualify because of my autoimmune disease. In that, it just got too bad, and I had to stop the aerobics as well. So it's been a really good lesson and good eye opener for me.
Yeah, it's so much of a journey, isn't it? And you're a baker by trade, right?
That's correct. I am. I did
Yeah.
that. I did that when I left school, and studied at the one of the world's most famous bakeries. It's called the Gelato Bar at Bondi Beach. I stayed there for about 11 years. Worked in a couple of other bakeries like La Bretage and La Delicier, and just learned my trade. But you know, it came a time where I just felt like doing something more in the sports field because I come from a sporting family, as I said, and just wanted to have my own gym and wanted to pursue that career.
Yeah, yeah. And you did. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't do. They don't follow their dreams. They don't do they think, oh, that's somebody else's dream and they don't follow it. Whereas you've been running Bondi Boxing Gym for 16 years. That's great. But not only do you own it, but you're the head trainer there. So you're investing a lot of your time and your effort and your passion there as well.
Yes, I do. Since then, it's been an amazing journey. We've just signed yesterday. I signed a lease for the next 6 years, another 6 year lease, and I'll probably um, see it out. But during that 16 years that I've been there, so far I've promoted 47 fight nights, both here in the eastern suburbs, in Concord West, where we did stuff with the Arnott's in the Arnott's Biscuit Factory, and the money that was raised was for the a disabled facility, a charity that we did,
Yeah,
uh, and that was to buy them and to help them build an aquatic little centre for them to do rehab and swimming and stuff like that. But it's been an amazing 16 years. I was fortunate to get back into boxing, turn pro, and win two titles. I won the WBF Super Bantamweight title when I was 43 years old, and when I was 42 years old, I was fortunate enough to fight for the UBC Masters featherweight title and won that too. So it's been a great journey and some things I can look back on and smile about.
yeah.
I'm yeah, basically it.
That's great. Um and I applaud you for sticking with all of these things because you did mention your autoimmune disease and fibromyalgia can be quite debilitating and so you can you can really tell in your personality and your drive that you even though you do struggle with these things it's the passion to move you forward that's really impressive.
Yeah, everybody's got to have some form of motivating force, as a father, husband,
Yeah.
business owner, and that. And I believe, as a valued member in my community, I think that, I mean, there's so many motivating factors, but, I was kind of forced to put things off for a long time and I struggled with them, and that's what led me to finally come back. And it was almost like I just wanted to get it out of my system. And even though I didn't have a real long boxing career and a career like most people have, and because they get to fulfill that and pursue that without having any medical complications and that,
Mm.
I still got to do something, and I'm really grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. That's it is truly inspirational. And I met you, I think, a few years ago now, um, in the neurotransformation therapy and timeline therapy training. And I've seen you come so far and all the people that you're working with are achieving so much. And yeah, so that's what are your thoughts about that? And so how far you've come?
Look, I think it's been amazing. I initially joined or signed up into the course pretty much for just improved awareness. I wanted to improve my awareness. I wanted to improve my self growth. I wanted to tap on a few things as a father and as a husband and a boss. I wanted to be able to improve my ability to kind of just communicate message. Like I didn't want to come home and have the kids walking on eggshells just because dad's come home, he's tired and he's angry or anything like that. And I'm not saying that was the case, but however, I there were moments where I was um, yelling at the kids, and I thought to myself, since I've done the course and since I've had a look at how I conduct myself, I've really been able to, you know, develop a lot of better connection with my daughter and my son, and it's been all due to just being, you know, working on my growth and taking responsibility for my actions. And it's the same thing I tell all my clients. I didn't think about becoming a practitioner or anything, but just improving the quality of the life of my family, improving the quality of my life, and learning to deal with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue was the main goal for me to do the course. And I'm blessed that a lot of other things eventuated from it, like the footprints retreat and neurotransformation therapy sessions that I do, and the rest that I'm sure you're probably going to ask me about tonight.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I found a lot of people have come through sort of these experiences and they've always had a better result going forward in life. And you do need to fill your own cup first and then see where it takes you. So,
Yeah,
yeah, well done with all of your achievements.
thanks. I'm a true believer. Like if you have to service so many people, and I have to service my family, I have to service my dad who's had 3 heart attacks, I have to service members at the gym, fighters at the gym, and the community. And if I'm not looking after myself, how can I give the best of me? So no, I make it an effort to meditate, have my own little morning routine, my afternoon routine, my night routine. That helps me deal with fibromyalgia and the chronic fatigue a lot better. And it helps me turn up as the best version I can be. And I think that's important in my line of work.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess let's start with what gave you the motivation to start the Footprints retreats?
I guess some of what we were talking about, I've been doing programs in New Zealand back in 1999. I moved over there and I bought myself a gym. I bought a gym into a gym. It was called Lifestyle 2000, and I was fortunate enough to be able to travel around New Zealand with some celebrity athletes and some movie stars like Tumuera Morrison's brother-in-law and Tumuera Morrison's sister, Donna Morrison and Anaru Grant. I was accompanied by New Zealand All Black Norm Hewitt, silver fern player for New Zealand, Noeline Taurua Barnett, and Marnie Grant. We would go to these different communities, third generation unemployment, teenage mums, single mums, and just drug infested areas that were problematic socially, and financially. And this gives me an opportunity to connect with people. And the workshops were called Positive Lifestyles for Kids Workshop or Positive Lifestyles for Adults Workshops. In Maori, it was Te Auto Rangi, means aim for the sky. And yeah, there was a moment back then when one of the schools that I was visiting, and this was all free of charge, it was unpaid work that I was always doing. I would visit, and I noticed that this particular school had 83 kids that had no sneakers or any shoes to go to school with, so they were going barefoot to school. And I'd gone and done some inquiries, and even I went to the Tenai Tavern where they had all the gaming and that, and they were able to sponsor me and give me $4,500 to go to the local warehouse and buy 83 pairs of shoes for the kids. So I gave the money to the school, and that's what they did. And ever since, from running those programs, I've always been doing different things, and it's really motivated me to continue on doing that work. Just feel passionate about it, and I just, it makes me happy. It's incredible. I went back to visit New Zealand about 7 weeks ago. My brother lives there with his wife and their little boy, Noah, and I was training at a gym, and it's funny because that particular school that I got shoes for is right around the corner from a place called Four Block. And Four Block is the place that Duffy wrote the movie and the sequel to Once Were Warriors and What Becomes of the Broken Hearted with Gang Life in New Zealand. And it's pretty much based on real events. Not a true story, but events that take place. It's not far from the truth.
Yeah.
Domestic violence and gangs and social problems, alcohol, drugs, and just teenage pregnancies, the whole lot, everything I spoke to you about.
Mm.
And the gang there that based in that area is Black Power. When I went there, and I haven't been there for like 21 years, the last time that I went before, that was probably 3 years before. So I don't go there that much often, and I'm going to be visiting there more often because my brother's there. But I was greeted. A group of people saw me from Full Block at the gym training, and all the things that I'd done and all the workshops and that, and contribution to charity and the kids and all that. They remembered and they were very warm with me, and it was nice to see that they remembered me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. With the inspiration of, what you've done for them as well and done for the community, those things really stand out in people's minds. It's quite similar, but could you tell us what motivates you so much when you're running these events and programs?
Well, I think it's really important to understand what we're sharing, what we're talking about is behavioral science. So the body doesn't control the mind. The mind controls the body. I had a great teacher, Jimmy Williams, who was tap dance and a performer with Sidney Poitier, Miles Davis, Nina Horn, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, back in Spanish Harm, New York, but he was originally from Florida, and he was a great teacher of boxing. He trained some great champions like Antonio Tarver, Joey Gamach, Lloyd Heineken, and John the Beast McGavie. He's a Hall of Fame teacher, trainer in boxing, well known. And he always taught me and always shared with me that the mind is what controls the body. The body is nothing but the tool for the mind. And I see this every day. People today struggling, just in a rush, always striving to make money, striving to do things, spending too much time on social media, in front of the computer, in front of the TV, not having a real sense of value and connection with quality life. And this is what really motivates me about running the Footprints Retreat, because I don't just offer them a yoga session, or I don't offer them an experience where it's here and gone. I offer them something that they can take home and instill and keep for life. Now, there's an old saying: a lesson is not worth learned unless you've learned from it. And this is what it's all about, stuff. But there's
Yeah,
so much in this retreat that participants can take home and implement into their life and get so much value out of it.
definitely. And I've actually had the pleasure of speaking to some of the people that have experienced the retreat,
You have
and just some of the stuff that's coming out of it is um, simply like it's honorable. Some people are saying that they just loved every single bit of it, and the
how
food
good
was
were the
so yummy. Yeah,
how good were the was the comments and the what do you call it, the reviews that we had from the corporate people? It was pretty cool, eh?
yeah,
That was
very cool.
yeah.
Definitely, and everybody would come back if it was to happen again. So, luckily we do have the retreat coming back on this 18th, 19th, and 20th. I've got the dates right this time of July,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
there's a whole list of things. I keep saying that it's the 17th, 18th, and 19th, but that's the one in October. But we'll get through the July one first. And yeah, I'm sure that we'll build on it as we go. And I'm sure the experiences are just going to get bigger and better each time. So, what sort of activities are the participants expecting at this July retreat?
Well, where do we start, Nadia? Um, have we got time?
We
uh,
will try and squeeze everything in.
yeah, look, functional human movement, and that involves group classes with me and the gym manager Henry and a few of the others. And those classes involve like group fitness classes, from boxing session to functional training, human movement sessions, which are really cool. And as you know, the last group that we had, the corporate group, they just loved it. And the great thing about it, on the first day when they arrived, they all received their own pair of boxing gloves. They all received their hand wraps, their t-shirts, and everything that they needed to, participate in the retreat. So they really didn't need to bring anything but change of clothing and a towel.
So
Apart
they
from that,
get
we
to
had a
keep those things as well.
no. They take them all home. It's all for them. It's all part of the retreat.
Awesome.
Everything's given to them. They got their folders. They got their pens. They got all their journaling material and everything they needed. So they really didn't need to bring anything except just themselves and a towel and workout gear. But yeah, we had vision sessions and journaling sessions that I'd implemented, and a lot of this stuff, Nadia, I wouldn't put it into the session unless I practiced it or did it myself.
Yeah,
So I'm a strong believer. If you're not doing something, don't give it to someone else. Or if you
yeah,
haven't experienced it and known its true value, don't put it in. And
definitely.
it's the same motto with this retreat. It's with everything I do. The same with the gym. If I don't believe someone needs to do this in their training, I won't put it in there. And
Yeah,
it's with everything I do.
that's amazing. And it's always, I know when I studied hypnotherapy, one of the very first things that I learnt coming out of that was always go first, and always go on the journey with your clients and with your subjects, if you'd like to call them, because it builds that rapport between yourself and the content that you're teaching, but it also distills it in your mind about the experience that you're having. So whatever platform that you're learning in, if you know that your people are going with you, then you don't feel alone and you can absorb that learning.
Yes, it's like like I said, all these little things that we do in the retreat. I said we have team building sessions, and they were so much fun. We have ice baths and infrared saunas, breath work, nutrition. Each client and participant gets a massage, and the climax of this session. There's so much more that is in this. There's food, like really beautiful, luscious, healthy food. There's detoxing smoothies, acai bowls. Each participant gets a massage, and so much more. But
That's so
yeah, I
awesome.
think the last group that left, they just, from the rapport that we got and the response and comments that we got, as you know, like they just thought we couldn't fit any more in. It was just jam packed, and it was actually so much fun. I mean, the team building session alone, I remember there was one team building session that my wife had gone out and she's gone to Spotlight and she bought all this material and she made these ponchos, you know, and everybody had a poncho. And because it was a corporate group that we were working with, they, in this team building session, they were all wearing sombreros and they had each had a different colored pen, marker pen, and one particular person would sit down and they would write down on the poncho what they loved about that person in relations to working with them, what their qualities were, and stuff like that. And there was so much team building activities on the first day because this corporate company was owned by two individuals. They were both made captain on the first day when they arrived. They got to choose their name of their team, and each team was earning points
Yeah,
through the over the next 3 days, winning different tasks
yeah,
through different sessions. And at the end of the retreat, one of the team that won, got a prize. They got an onboarding call with me. Everybody gets an onboarding call with me at the end of the session. It's part of the retreat. And they also received a personal training session. Each the people that the team that won, which was really cool. Personal training sessions worth $110 alone.
yeah,
And so that's something that was really cool and they really enjoyed.
yeah, that's amazing. And I think one person I did speak with mentioned that when you went out for lunch, it would have been great if the time allocated um, was um, better spent out there talking and doing the team building because he loved it so much. So he was, next time we'll have to go and we'll have to eat really quickly and then come back and do more work. And it's like, that's saying what, exactly what you want to hear as a facilitator. You know, for somebody to want to spend more time with you, that's really amazing. And
It's actually, I had so much, we had so much more team building
yeah,
sessions that I wanted to put in, and I had them all set up. I bought all the stuff, and it was all ready to go, but we just didn't have the time. We just did so much. And I
Yeah.
know I've got friends who run retreats elsewhere, and I'm sure they don't put half the stuff that we put into the session.
Mm.
And I'm just glad that we do what we do, and what makes us different is the variety of stuff that we do,
Yeah.
the professionalism of the people that we bring in, the practitioners. Some of the practitioners are so knowledgeable about their field of what they talk about and what they've studied for so many years, and I think that shows, you know, in every
Yeah.
session that we run.
That's right. And that leads me straight into the next question as well. So, who are some of your other health practitioners? So you've mentioned yourself and Henry and some of the team at the Bondi Boxing Gym, and I'm only going to mention three of these. So the first one, I
David,
think we'll have to go with Amelia, the yoga
I mean,
instructor.
yeah, she's so cool. She's a French yoga instructor who's been doing teaching yoga for a very long time. She runs her own studio here in Bondi. She works with another German girl, and they run the yoga studio, and they've been running it for many years now. It's not far from my gym, and she's been working with me ever since we started these retreats. And the great thing about her, like she teaches a variety of yoga, and talks about different breathing techniques, meditation, and the session with Amelia is basically on the Sunday morning, which is the Saturday morning, the last day of the retreat, where we all meet up at the gym and walk down to the beach just before sunrise, and she runs the retreat there as the sun comes up, and clients are given 45 minutes of yoga with Amelia, and after that, we come back home to back to the gym where we have a nice breakfast. It's Up South, I believe. Yeah, that's right. The cafe is called Up South. It's the one across the road from my gym. Max and Julie provide us with such good food, and they provide us with most of the food throughout the retreats. A couple of breakfasts, a couple of lunches, and it's all freshly made from detoxing smoothies, acai bowls, fruit salad, the whole lot.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, another person we've spoken with, David Pemberton, the breathing coach,
What a
on
legend.
our lives before, and yeah, he's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to shaking his hand when I get up there.
David's an amazing guy. Um, Probably haven't got enough time to talk about his story, but he's a guy that has been through a bit, and he practiced nasal breathing, and he started studying nasal breathing, the Batiko method. He's a specialist on the Batiko method of nasal breathing, the technique that was developed by Patrick McEwen, and he's been doing this for many years, and he has a wealth of knowledge. He's been working with NRL players, elite sports people, anybody from the average person to the most elite sportsman. And the great thing about what David shares is, for the same reason that a few weeks ago we had Dr. Levi, who is a leader in the field of sleep deprivation and getting quality sleep. And they both spoke about this one particular subject of why it's so important to nasal breathe. Now, just not going off the subject, just going to share something with you. Dr. Levi and David Pemberton both shared that those young kids, why it's, we talked about why it's so important to introduce programs and ongoing education for young kids from as young as primary school, third class, etc., on nasal breathing. And the reason being, when kids get to about a certain age, like 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, they get braces. And a lot of it could be prevented if they learn to nasal breathe, because mouth breathing brings your jaw forward, and what it does, it puts your mouth out of shape. So if you want to see a real chronic mouth breather, you see somebody with a really long face. Now, I've been using the Batiko method for almost 12 months now, and now I only nasal breathe. And David Pemberton is the man responsible for educating me this all about this technique and the quality of sleep that I get. I never used to get great quality sleep, but the quality of sleep that I get now is so much better than I did before. And it simply just started by doing his course and him teaching me to tape my mouth with a special tape that you buy. I think it's called My Tape, and you can get it online if you look for it. And that has just enabled me to nasal breathe. And now I'm really, living so much better with my breathing, not finding myself like drained and tired. And it's all due to getting good quality sleep at night. And David, in his session, David really hones in on that. He talks about the benefits of nasal breathing, and he talks about why, where we've gone wrong by only mouth breathing.
Yeah.
So it was a great session.
Yeah, our live session was amazing, and I think we could have kept going between David Pemberton and um, Dr. Mark as well. And the other supporting factor of it, another practitioner that we have coming is Nick Revelman, who we spoke with last week on our live. So she's a naturopath and nutritionist at the Health Emporium across from your gym.
That's correct. Nicole Revelman is amazing, so cool. Um, she's so straight to the point, and she's got the wealth of knowledge as a naturopath and nutritionist. She's been working in her field for many years now, and as you said, she works out of the Health Emporium at Bondi Road, which is straight across the road from my Bondi boxing gym. And once again, like her sessions, the response that we got was that it was just not enough. They wanted to learn more and more, not just about nutrition itself, but about gut health. She talks about anything that you want to talk about to educate you about uh, improved health, whether you're suffering from fibromyalgia, central sleep apnea, chronic fatigue, whether you got some gut issues or gut health problems. She's just so knowledgeable about everything, and she's a breath of fresh air. She's a lovely lady, and she's a mother and a person who understands, the problems people have with diet and nutrition these days. And yeah, we're just so lucky to have her on our program, and so looking forward to catching up with her. I was actually with her last week. We caught up, and I went over and had a good chat with her, and she's really looking forward to the retreat as well. So really lucky to have Nick at our retreat and as part of the team.
Yeah, definitely. And what I really, really love about Nick as well is um, she was quite firm in saying that there's a social media issue at the moment. So it's really important not just to follow something just because they're an influencer. It doesn't mean that they actually know what they're talking about at a scientific
That's
level.
look,
So
I'm going to say something. I became vegan, right? And so I followed the health medium, and I thought the diet was amazing, and I loved the diet. But what I noticed, because I was eating too much carbs, it was causing a little bit of inflammation in my body. And I'm now not a vegan. I was a vegan for about 16 months. I'm eating a little bit of chicken. I'm still eating very well, and I've kept what I've implemented from the vegan diet, especially in the morning, where I wake up in the morning and I have a really good morning routine where I am able to have a little bit of lemon, hot lemon water, some celery juice, uh, the right vitamins and that, etc. And I mean, obviously, prior to that, I have my cold shower and I meditate, do my breath work and stretching and all that yoga before I even have the lemon water. But that's all part of my morning routine. And but I've now incorporated some protein, some chicken and stuff like that, and I'm finding my energy levels and less inflammation than I've had before, and I'm able to exercise and just feel so much better.
Yeah, and that's amazing that you can share that with everybody as well, because sometimes, there are people who do have, ailments, and they just go into their own little world where, you're showing people that they don't need to do that. Like, there are things that you can build into your daily routine. Speaking of food, we have spoken about one of the amazing places that you're going to provide food from. That's all included as a part of the retreat. So
It
the
sure
other
is.
the other place that you told me about, and I'm really looking forward to this, but look at Mama, is it Mommy's Casa Latina? So
Yeah,
Mexican restaurant down in Bondi. So
yeah. Look,
that's
um, Juan and his wife have opened an incredible Mexican restaurant that offers a different array of Mexican food, and it is absolutely delicious. I have Mexicans tell me that are members at my gym that that food at Mummy's Casa Latina restaurant is the best Mexican food they've ever tasted in Australia. And these are people that have left Mexico and have come over here on holidays and that, and they've been to a few Mexican places and they've wanted to taste some really nice, authentic, delicious Mexican food, and have simply said to me, "This place is just the best." And you can tell. I mean, I love it. It's so cool and it's affordable. It's nice, and all they have to do is just turn up. Everything's paid for. The food is there for them. Anything they want to choose, anything they want to order on the menu, they get, and
yeah.
it's so cool. I mean, I'm just Juan and his wife do such a great job and provide us with such a great service, and the food speaks for itself. So couldn't speak
Yeah.
more highly about Mummy's Casalatina restaurant in
Yeah,
Bondi.
I was having a look at their Instagram earlier because, obviously I like to do some research and make sure I've got all of these slides up and running for you. And I got so hungry. I, I had to go have my own avocado and I got my own little chips. I'm like, yep. So I'm really looking forward to going and eating there when, hopefully next month, if I'm still invited. If not, then I'm
You
just going to
are
come anyway.
little tacos and burritos, and oh, it's just so yummy.
Yum. And it's all authentic food as well. So there's no added
Yeah,
MSG and extra
yeah.
flavorings that,
Well
people
cooked
shouldn't
from
have. So
scratch.
it's all
Yeah,
cooked, yeah, cooked in-house. I had a look at some of the pictures and they had at the back in the kitchen, and that's the difference between a good authentic Mexican or Latina menu compared to a lot of the stuff that's pre-packaged, and it's not so great for your health.
yes. It's a home. It's kind of like it's not like these some of these franchise shops like uh, food places that you go to. It doesn't have that authentic home taste, that natural, that beautiful flavors, the way it's served. That I mean, like my wife's from Fresno, California, and Fresno, California is full of Mexicans. So there's
Yeah.
plenty of Mexican places to go. You can get a burrito or tequila. You can get a tortilla, sorry, I should say, uh, nachos or anything like that. What's the other thing they call it?
uh,
Oh,
Cascasitas.
yeah, everything. You can get anything
Yeah.
there. And I've never tasted any food close to that until I tasted Mummy's Casino, Mummy's Casa Latina restaurant on Bondi Road. And yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. No, I think I'm piling on the porkies already just thinking about it.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But if somebody wanted to have their own corporate retreat, that's something that you can do for them.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I really like working with corporate people. It's one of my specialty. I think that the whole idea of team building, the whole idea of bringing a group together, getting to spend time together, do some challenges, some tasks, and just have so much fun together is so important for them to build, get interact, better interaction and just work together as a
So
team.
all of this information is on the website, so footprintscoach.com, and there's a whole stack of information there and how they can contact you if they do want to have an enterprise or a corporate um, retreat built for them, because obviously that's something that would have to be um, more targeted to their business. Um,
Yes, every corporate company that comes and works with me, they talk to me about what they want, and we cater something specifically for that group. And when we do work with a group, it's only that group. There's no outside people. That's a funny thing. I had to run 2 retreats earlier this year simply because we had a corporate group that had bought one retreat and didn't want anyone else but their people to come in. So I ran a retreat earlier on for other people who just came along to, and that really worked out really well. And it kind of made me think about running different retreats for corporate groups, and that was just such a huge success for me. And I
yeah.
can't wait to do more of them.
Yeah, definitely. So you're hoping to do two more public retreats. So this one coming up in July, so 18th, 19th, and 20th of July. And the next
Yep,
one is the 17th, 18th, and 19th of October.
that's
So
correct.
if people can't make the one in July, they can definitely come in. They feel free to give me a call, or they can send an email to the contact details that we have. Uh, I'll show you a little bit later. Yeah,
Part of the retreat, um, and this is really cool with the corporate group because, as I said, they were put into separate teams. We take them to Nimbus, which is a health retreat up not far in the eastern suburbs in Bondi, and they have ice baths and infrared saunas, and all the participants were given a session in the ice bath and the infrared sauna, and it was just so cool. So we had little challenges of who was able to stay in the ice bath for the time that we were given them, and I think the time that was set was 5 minutes for each person, and um, yeah, it was just so cool. And after that, we'd I took everybody for a detoxing smoothie, and then we came back to the gym and we did like a neural transformation therapy vision sessions, which allowed me to share some of my experience and some of the things, some of my notes, some of the things that I've been working on. And this particular session, I was able to talk about the great Muhammad Ali and use his life story to touch and to get to build connection with the participants, and the retreat just flowed on from there. But
yeah,
I thought I'd bring that up before we forgot.
yeah. So I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures that I found. So this one's
Oh
of
yeah,
you in the ice bath, and I don't know, can you still do that?
no, in my dreams.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got you and your shirt there. We've got a couple of highlights of the retreat structure. So
Look,
they've got this.
look at that
This,
food. This is a vegan meal by Cafe up South Cafe. Now that
yeah,
vegan meal that we're looking at there has got is so cool. It's got tofu, avocado, sesame, a little bit of poppy poppy seeds, some pumpkin, some sauerkraut, tomatoes, mushrooms, cashew nuts, and roasted almonds. It is delicious. So good.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm hungry now. I just ate dinner before, but look at that.
Detoxing smoothie. So good, eh? That's from the Health Emporium. It's so
Yeah,
yummy.
that's yum. So I'm gonna just like close that window now so that I don't have to look at it because it's, torturous. But yeah, so I'm really excited. Like if anybody does want to get in on the corporate retreat, super easy. We're friendly people to deal with and we'll climatize it to however you need it to be. And yeah, I guess with the corporate retreats, you also have your one-on-one session with each participant, just to work on some goal setting, and the journaling
Yeah,
is
look,
really helpful as well.
the thing about this, the retreat is the climax of it is the last session, the last day. After we do the yoga, after we do we have the breakfast, and we come back and do the team building sessions. The final session is a session where we talk about major breakthroughs. And what we do is initially on the first day when they come and we do the vision session with the participants, they get to write down any submodalities or any struggles or any hurdles that they feel that they're facing. Someone could be wanting to lose weight, get fit, feel great. Other person wanting to find a partner. Another person wanting to get over anxiety or be able to do public speaking. Whatever the hurdle may be, they write it on a karate board on the final session of the Footprints retreat. Each participant is given back their board and they break through it doing a karate chop. It's such a cool session with all the team support that they will get in that session and all the bonding that they've had over 3 days. And they get to take that broken board and with that modality that was written on it or that underlining negative belief, and know that it's all cool, that is just a modality, that is just a perception. And it's funny, like I said, the body doesn't control the mind controls the body. I had a friend tell me recently that every idea and every thought that runs through a person's mind has consequences, and consequences whether you believe you deserve that, whether you don't deserve that. And as a result, some of the people, or most people in life, are living far less than what they truly are. And what they have to ask yourself, what they have to ask themselves is it all, are these consequences really worth it? And is this a true reflection of who they really are? And if it isn't, if it is, great. But if it isn't, then there comes a time in a person's life where they have to take action and take responsibility for where they are and where they want to be. And what better place to do it than at the Footprints retreat with all the support and all the love and guidance from all these great practitioners in such a good environment. What better place to do it? So really looking forward to seeing you guys, and just contact Nadia. Maybe Nadia, you can share some contact details of how they can get in contact with you. But yeah,
Definitely. So we have the website, which takes you straight to the Footprints July um, link. I will post all of this information in the comments on all the places we're posting. You can call me. So this is my number here. So I have this number running all the time. So I know that there's a lot of hardworking people out there. So just give me a bell. If I don't answer, make sure you leave the message. And we're also on all of the socials. So we've got Facebook, look for Maydad Footprints Coach, or you can also look for Maydad Ronen, Neurotransformation, so NTT practitioner. On Instagram, you can look for Maydad underscore Ronen underscore NTT. On LinkedIn, we've actually just fixed the link so that it says Maydad Ronen. So just put his name in the box there. And we are working on all of the amazing content and all of these videos, all of our live vodcast. So that's all going to be uploaded to the YouTube channel this afternoon or tonight, tomorrow-ish. So do feel free to reach out, ask as many questions as you like, and I can answer any of those questions, and we can get you booked in with Maydad for an onboarding call.
awesome.
Yeah.
Great to see you, Nadia. And I'm so looking forward to the 18th, 19th, and 20th of July and sharing some of these experiences and great sessions and with all these practitioners and all this knowledge with the participants. It's going to be an amazing weekend. I'm really looking forward to it.